Hi guys, my name is Brianna Prairie, and the award-winning young adult novel that I chose to read this summer was Please Ignore Vera Dietz by A.S. King. And this book has 336 pages and was published on October 12th, 2010. This fiction book won the Michael Prince Award in 2011, and it begins with our main character, Vera, who is dealing with the death of her best friend, Charlie. And Vera is going through a lot in her life, but she never dares to let down her tough guard. She always shows her strong, stubborn personality throughout the course of the novel. And Vera is dealing with Charlie's death in her own way, which means not dealing with it at all. She wants to write it off, and she just wants it to go away. Prior to Charlie's death, he decided he didn't want to be friends with Vera anymore, and that really hurt her. She feels as though she lost Charlie twice. Once because he didn't want to be her friend anymore, and once because he died, and she doesn't know how to deal with those feelings that she has. Charlie Kahn is Vera's best friend, who is dead upon the start of the novel, and him and Vera were our neighbors also, so that provides us a unique perspective into Charlie's life and the struggles that him and Vera endured while growing up. And Charlie's parents, the Kahns, who live right next door to Vera. So Vera's family sees a lot about the Kahn's life. And one of the things that becomes really clear early on in the novel is that Charlie's dad is very abusive and is constantly beating his wife and Charlie. But Vera's family just turns a blind eye to it and pretends like it doesn't happen and doesn't do anything about it, even though Vera knows it's wrong and knows Charlie is getting hurt. And so prior to Charlie's death, when he decides he doesn't want to be friends with Vera anymore, it's partially because of Jenny Flick's influence on him. And Jenny and Charlie quickly bond over their troubled family backgrounds. But Vera and Jenny do not get along. And out of jealousy, Jenny develops a hatred for Vera and turns Charlie against her. So Charlie loses one of his biggest supporters in his life. And we can really see Jenny's darkness grow throughout the story. Jenny's part of the detention heads, Charlie's new group of delinquent friends who provides him this new excitement in his life with their reckless behavior. But Vera does not like the influence that they have on Charlie. She knows that they are influencing him negatively, and ultimately they were the worst thing for him in the end, and Vera knew it. This book starts out from the beginning again when Charlie is dead, and she is really just trying to deal with Charlie's death. She is trying to cope with it, and she doesn't know how to handle it. She doesn't know if she should handle it as if Charlie's her best friend, as she feels, or as if she hates him and he's not her friend, because she also feels that too. Charlie's death is really the entire basis of this novel, considering the circumstances of the death are still unknown. So a lot of the novel is trying to figure out what happened to Charlie and why it happened to Charlie. As Vera is trying to cope with Charlie's death, she turns to some negative coping mechanisms such as alcohol and drinking and partying. And during this time, she really starts to resent Charlie even more because he didn't want to be her friend anymore. Although she feels she should clear his name because nobody knows how he's died still, and Vera might have some insight, she still hates him, and she doesn't want to try to clear his name because of what he did to her. And then this leaves us at the climax when Vera goes to a party and drinks too much and ends up falling and hitting her head and knocks herself unconscious, and then wakes up in her bed at home with her dad, who really encourages her to go to therapy, where Vera realizes that she's really able to deal with Charlie's death and some other things that have happened in her life, like the fact that her mother left her when she was very young. Sorry. This incident's really eye-opening for Vera, and she knows that this is the best way for her to fight all her demons and for her to move on with her life. And this is really the turning point for where Vera starts dealing and coping with Charlie's death and wanting to come to terms with it and really clear his name, that he didn't burn down the pet shop and what truly happened. And I thought this book was a really great book. I thought it was an awesome summer read, and it was really quick and easy to follow along. I liked following Vera through her life and watching her grow from the beginning to being so sad and not knowing to do with Charlie's death and just being angry at everybody, to the end where she's really dealing with it and moving on and being strong, and she helps in clearing Charlie's name, and she really just helps herself cope with the death and deal with it in the best manner that she can, so she can become better. But I recommend this book, and thank you guys for watching my video.